All right, so welcome back. We're getting another Facebook Live, and we're very excited today because it's a special weekend for us.
Absolutely.
This is the weekend release of Courageous Legacy. And real excited about this one because this is our 10-year anniversary. And
it's in theaters tonight.
Yes,
actually.
it is. Yeah, and this is in theaters. This is the special edition. And again, if you've seen Courageous, you haven't seen this version. This version is re-edited, recolored, additional score, better effects, new shots, deleted scenes back into the movie, and a brand new ending.
Yes,
so we're very excited.
It's the absolute best version of the movie. It is a new version for a new generation. And if you know anybody that has not seen Courageous, or they need to know the Lord, or they have had kids in the last 10 years, this is the movie for them to see this weekend.
We're aware that schools are taking their students to go see this in groups on buses, so super excited about that.
Yes.
Because the principles in this film are just as applicable today as they were 10 years ago when it was first released, and we would say that men in general need to see this movie because it shows you a biblical standard. Women need to see it to know how to pray for the men who need to see it.
Absolutely.
So anyway, but we got a special guest today. We're very excited. We have the Kevin Bacon of Christian films. And you say, well, what do you mean Kevin Bacon? Well, there's this saying among all Hollywood movies that Kevin Bacon is just a degree away from really anybody in Hollywood. He's done so many films, worked with so many people. And so we have the Kevin Bacon. It's Kevin Downs.
Kevin Downs
Kevin
is with us today.
And so Kevin Downs is in Courageous. He plays a crucial role in Courageous, and in the Legacy version, there's a twist at the end of the film.
Yes, he is featured in the new version.
And so Kevin, the cool thing about Kevin, he's been doing Christian films for decades now. He has worked with everybody I can possibly imagine in the Christian film space. So if you remember the Cristiano brothers, of course, Kendrick brothers, Downs brothers, Irwin brothers, Pure Flix, TBN, you name it, Kevin has worked with them. So we're going to welcome Kevin to the program. Kevin, how are you?
Hey, Alex and Steven. You guys make me laugh, man. You guys are funny. I'm doing great. How are you guys?
It's great to see you. And you've got some exciting stuff you're working on, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But for our listeners, Kevin agreed to come be in Courageous.
And it was our first movie with Kevin.
Yeah.
The first three we were doing at the church. And Kevin, one of the things I was so grateful for, me being the producer in name in Courageous, but you were so much more experienced, and the entire time during the shoot, you were so gracious to me, coming alongside me, encouraging me, teaching me stuff while we were on the set of Courageous. So it was a huge blessing to me that you were not only Shane in the movie and did a great job playing a tough role, but also behind the scenes, you were a friend and a minister to us. So I'm very grateful.
And I want to know, do you know how many movies you've produced?
I don't.
It's in the dozens though, right?
Yeah.
I think it's over 20. I actually should know this number and I don't, but you guys are too kind. I mean, you guys are two of the hardest, you guys are the hardest working duo in the movie business that I know. It's unbelievable. And it's a blessing to be a part of any project that you guys do. And Courageous, I believe God literally ordained it to happen. I'm so blessed to be a part of it. It's a part of, my legacy I get to leave to my kids, being able to be a part of that film. And what's beautiful about it is, my kids are 8. I have 3 boys. They're 8, 12, and 13. And so 10 years ago, they don't remember Courageous being out, especially the 8-year-old.
Right, yeah.
I get to take them to the theater, and we get to experience Courageous together, which just I'm so excited about. I can't even stand it how excited I am about that. And we get to have that talk, and as your kids grow, they continue to learn what dad does for a living, but to kind of see movies that really impact and promote fatherhood, and that makes them feel safe and warm, that their house is safe, and that they're learning who God is, and that God is their father, and that God actually loves them and does not want them to hurt, and surround them with people like that. It's really a gift and a blessing.
That's awesome. And I see over your shoulder, you actually have a trophy up there over your right shoulder that says #1 Dad.
That's impressive.
And I also see that you're learning cursive. You got some cursive behind you on the wall, which I think is
Is that homeschooling? What is that?
No, I'm in our homeschool room. So my wife homeschools Joshua, who's 8 years old, and then she was homeschooling the 2 older ones, but they are now in a Christian junior high. and enjoying that. So, but we totally believe in that. So it's been a
Kevin, we got a couple of shots of you on set of the original Courageous from 10 years ago. And here's one with you and the other guys. And one of the things I'm grateful for is the five men, all of them believe in the message of Courageous and not only did a great job acting in the movie, but now all of them are godly fathers seeking to lead their families. And I am grateful that you not only believe in that message, but when Courageous came out 10 years ago, you championed the movie and you started spreading the word. And you went to, what countries did you go to promote Courageous? It was Ecuador. Was there other ones?
Yeah, I mean, Ecuador down to Mexico. We went to Mexico City actually with Alex, and Ecuador was incredible. I mean, they like adopted the movie in their police force, which is a national police force, and required all of them to watch it. And Alex and I got to experience that ministry, and it was just humbling. I mean, at the end of the day, it was so humbling that God would use us to be able to impact and encourage. I can't tell you how many people, the first trip that I went down by myself. And I had a translator with me. I don't speak Spanish. And I just had couples, men and women that were married, that would come up and hug me, not know who I am, and basically through a translator say, "You have no idea you saved my marriage."
Wow.
And it was just like, you just sit there in tears. And so that's why I said, "Alex, you got to come back with me. They want to do it again."
Oh, yeah.
So you did, and you got to experience it.
It was awesome.
It was awesome. I mean, I making movies is one thing and they're hard, but the gift is to be able to see the lives that are impacted and are changed by the content that we create, and God blesses that.
Yes. That's exactly right. And then that's what we hope happens this time around. So Courageous Legacy back in theaters actually right now. Yes. People can go ahead and get tickets and go see it. It's in 1,000 theaters across America. You shot some new stuff with us. We don't want to give anything away, but as you look at the impact of Courageous, what are some of the things that stick out to you? For dads or even you as a dad, what sticks out to you when you think of Courageous?
Yeah, I mean, I am one of the few fortunate ones that have been able to see it with an audience already. So that was incredible. I got to see it with a group of pastors, Robert Maya and Kim Bevel and I did. And I have to honestly say, you guys have done something that's amazing. I mean, I sat there and I watched it and I felt like I was watching a brand new movie. And not because the old one was needed any improvement whatsoever, but you thought of things that I wouldn't have thought of as a filmmaker, and how you shot the forethought that you put into creating the new ending was absolutely brilliant and beautiful. I enjoyed shooting it. Obviously, it's fun to see yourself 10 years later in the same movie. And in my mind, I just go, you know what? That's my younger brother. But then I come in at the end. And so but I'm so glad that you guys did this, because I believe that Courageous is going to impact a new generation. It's not just for those that have seen it in the theater, but there's so many that I know that did not. And the movie is different enough that if you saw it before, you're going to want to see this because it's so much different. At least for me, watching it with a crowd, it impacted me in a different way. And maybe that's because I'm a dad, that my kids are in a different age. But I loved it. Way to go. Well done.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I got to know your secret. I am 50 and I look like it. You just turned 50. Happy birthday. But you look 40. So I need to know your secret.
Oh man. Olive oil. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, I turned 50 2 days ago, and I can say the last day of my 40s, I thought, well, what's tomorrow going to feel like? And then I woke up and it felt the same. So I'm not really sure what the secret is. So happy birthday to me. But I'm just blessed and gifted to be able to do what we do and tell these wonderful stories that God blesses and impacts and inspires you guys to write. And some of the ones that I do and to produce, and it's just a gift.
Well, you got to see. So if you're watching this, you got to come see Kevin in the new version of Courageous Legacy. And the ending, he has a very significant part in the ending. There's some twists there that we recently shot. You're going to love it. You're going to see all the main characters come back, and you find out how they're doing and what's going on. But Kevin, I'm going to jump forward. You have just finished shooting a movie based on a true story of an outspoken believer. He is a Super Bowl champion, Kurt Warner, and you're putting his story on the big screen, and it's coming out Christmas Day. It's called American Underdog.
Yep.
We're going to show you the trailer. This is Zachary Levi. He plays Shazam. You may have seen him in that movie. And so this is American Underdog. Comes out Christmas Day. Story of Kurt Warner. And I'm a little jealous because when you were shooting the movie, you got to do something really cool. Tell us what you got to do, and then we have a video clip we're going to show while you're telling us.
Yeah, so while we're shooting the movie, we shot the movie during the pandemic in Oklahoma. We couldn't have extras. We actually couldn't even have visitors. And but I got to play catch with Kurt Warner. He came out and was a consultant during the football films. Obviously, he's an executive producer. Him and his wife Brenda are executive producers on the movie. The movie's a true life telling of their story, which is beautiful. I mean, they put God first in their life, and we see how he went from everything kind of being hopelessly lost, and he's just like trying to make ends meet by working at a grocery store and whatnot. But what he does is he puts his family first. And when he put his family first and God first above that, then what happened was his God opened these doors, and this gift all of a sudden came out of playing pro football. And it's a beautiful sight. Obviously, we all know the story, what happened. He won the Super Bowl, won the MVP. And so, but for me, I'm a 17-year Arizona Cardinals season ticket holder, which is really difficult. So I was there when he played there, but to play catch with Kurt Warner was just a really gift and a dream. And I'm like, actually people knew that. So people all around the set, when they saw that, were videotaping it. And so I got some copies of that, but Kurt's he is who he is, meaning when you see him on TV or whatnot, that's exactly who he is in real life, and he's not ashamed of it. I love that about him. He's an amazing father. My goodness, his kids are incredible, and that's a big part of this movie is how he is a father to his kids, and I love that about it. So Kurt Warner, American Underdog, in theaters Christmas Day.
Awesome. We will be there. Just like you, we have a heart for fathers. So Show Me the Father, Courageous. For you did I Can Only Imagine, strong fatherhood story there. Now you're coming out with Kurt Warner, who in real life is a great dad, an American Underdog. So guys, put it on your calendar. Christmas Day, American Underdog's coming out, produced by our friends, the Irwin brothers, and Kevin is not only a producer of the movie, but he's in the movie as well. That's so right. You got to check out American Underdog. Well, Kevin, thank you for being our friend for these last 2 decades. Thank you for the movies that you make, for helping us. We're excited about Courageous coming back out, and for all you have done to help us. So God bless you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. One last plug, which is Show Me the Father is one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. And so awesome. I just want to commend you guys for that. I took my family to it, and I had tears in my eyes. I knew what it was about, but I had never seen it. And I'm like, you guys have a gift of telling stories that people really need to see. And it hit me in a way at just the right time. So thank you for seeing it. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Show Me the Father.
Awesome.
Thank you for that.
Bless you, Kevin.
Yep.
We'll catch up with you soon.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. God bless.
So Show Me the Father, just as a quick update, is still in theaters, in some theaters that are across the U.S. Alex, we've got 2 movies in the theater at the same time, which is unbelievable.
Double feature.
It's mind-blowing.
You could go see 2 of our films in the theater.
In the same day, with your family if you wanted to. So one of them a documentary, one of them a feature film. But Show Me the Father, I got a call this morning where a friend of mine called from Kentucky. He said our whole college football team at a secular university went to see Show Me the Father last night in the theater. He said it was cheers in the theater, standing ovation at the end. He had a player walk up saying, I want to give my life to Christ and be baptized after he saw the movie.
Awesome.
And so we're continuing to hear amazing stories as to what God is doing in people's lives through Show Me the Father. And it's crazy now. We've also been praying that God will continue to use Courageous in a mighty way. This is the best version of Courageous by far, a new version for a new generation. And so tickets, Alex, talk about how to get tickets for Courageous Legacy.
So you can go to courageousthemovie.com, click on the theaters there, and you can see how to find your theater. You can type in your city or your zip code, and when you do so, a list of theaters will pop up, and you just go down and find your theater and click on the showtime. You can buy tickets, but we encourage you to take friends, take family, go as a church group. Again, we're already hearing of churches and schools going, and so we're very grateful for that. But Stephen, we talk about Show Me the Father, get an A+ cinema score.
Yes.
Our first A+ cinema score was Courageous.
Oh, that's exactly right.
It was the very first one back in 2011. We didn't even know what Cinema Score was, and we were contacted by them. They're an organization that's been around since the 70s, and they go to several cities, 5-6 cities. They have representations. They find, just kind of a men on the street, they find people who have just seen the movie, get that first take, and ask them to rate it. And only about 2 movies a year get an A+ cinema score. And I'm talking about all movies, not just Christian films, all movies in the theaters. And so Courageous got an A+, and that led to War Room and Overcomer getting A+, and then Show Me the Father got an A+. So we're very grateful for that support and people seeing the film. But that was our first one.
So the opening scene of Courageous is the biggest out of the chute bang action scene we've had in any of our movies to start a film off. You want to connect with an audience within the first 12 minutes of a movie, but this scene kicks in high gear right at the beginning. And we want to, if you haven't seen the movie, we're going to tease it a little bit right here, but we want to show you the opening scene of Courageous, and we're going to talk about what was going on behind the scenes, because this actually came out of a true story of a mom who was pumping gas, and somebody was kidnapping, hijacking her car while her child was in the back. And when we were working on Courageous, we said, let's make this the opening scene of the movie and incorporate our own dads in the scene. So check this out.
Sir, are you okay? Are you okay? Just lay still. We're calling for help. We're getting help. Don't worry about the car.
Sorry. There's a baby in the car.
So this scene has been re-edited, and one of the things I love about it, Alex, is what happens at the end, because we planned on that whole moment when he opens the car door, but we were trying to figure out when we were on set, how do we get a baby to cry in this moment?
Yeah, so the twist here is that when he gets back to the car, they're like, why are you holding onto the steering wheel? When he opens the back seat, you see his young baby in the car seat. In the car, and of course he can live without his vehicle, but he's not living without his son.
Right.
He's not going to let someone else grab the steering wheel and take off with his son. And in life, that's our parallel. Don't give the hearts and minds of your children over to this world to determine what they think and believe. They belong to the Lord, and the Lord has given them to you to steward and raise them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. So you should be the leader of what's introduced to them in their hearts and in their minds. As a dad, it is my job to protect them, especially in their formative years, from godless teaching and from selfish living. And so it's my job to model and to teach them how to honor the Lord. And so that was what this first scene was about, and it kind of sets the tone for the entire movie.
Well, and the steering wheel represents that leadership position that somebody's trying to take away, and really it represents the whole film. But right now, if you look at the statistics, the kids that are involved in trafficking, oftentimes the majority of them grew up in fatherless homes. A lot of teenage girls that are involved in prostitution grew up in fatherless homes. Yeah. So again, you see when dads do not step in and lead and protect, their families like they should, then their children become vulnerable prey for this world. And so, but the other thing about this scene that we love is that his son, that's really Ken Bevel's son, the actor in the movie. KJ Bevel is his name. And we cast him as this role because we needed a baby to be in this scene. But we were trying to figure out when he opens the door, how are we going to get him to cry to
On
represent?
cue.
And so we talked about, should we have somebody in the back seat, who pokes him with a stick? I mean, what do we do?
We didn't do that.
But basically, nothing happened. We just prayed and we said, let's shoot it and see what happens. And when Ken opened the door, KJ cries out. It was a God-directed moment. We all got chills on the set because it was perfectly on cue, but the Lord was the one who made that stuff happen. There was nobody in the car with him, and we were blown away because it grabs your heart as soon as you hear that baby cry.
And so, because he did an amazing job, we decided to pay him double, so we doubled his milk for that day.
Right.
Anyway, but it was a blessing. And Ken's son, and so now KJ is 11, I think.
That's right.
And so he's going to go see the movie.
He's 12.
He's 12. He's going to see this movie with his dad now that he's older and he gets to watch himself.
That's exactly right.
But when you see it, I'm telling you, it's going to grab your heart again. The people that have seen the new version have said, wow, this is even better than it was in the first time. It's like watching it for the very first time. So we encourage you, go to the theater. Yes. Don't wait for the DVD. Go to the theater. It's awesome on the big screen. And wear a mask if you have to, but it's worth seeing in the theater. So take your family, church, your friends, men's group, whatever, and see Courageous Legacy in theaters. And again, go to courageousthemovie.com, where you can find theaters and tickets.
And do not be afraid of COVID right now. People are going back to church, restaurants, work, school, everywhere else. If you want to wear a mask, go for it. But take your group and sit at a distance from other people. And right now, again, all across the nation, Shang-Chi, Marvel's movie, is packing out theaters. People who want to go see a Marvel movie. Football stadiums are at 100% capacity on weekends. There is not a COVID monster sitting in the corner of every theater room ready to jump on you when you walk in. So do not be afraid. But use this opportunity to bless your family, to reach people in your community, and to be inspired with a God-honoring message that will hopefully encourage you and help you for many days to come.
So anyway, so that's what we got today. We got some good news coming, though. So Show Me the Father, still in theaters. Go check it out. Courageous Legacy, now in theaters, both of them in theaters. And so check them out this weekend. And until next time, God bless you. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Take care.
I believe every father should step up and answer the call. So where are you, men of courage? Sheriff's Office.
Thank you, sir.
No, thank you.
Deputy Thompson has now survived his rookie year.
When do you get married, have some kids, you're gonna figure out real quick how much you don't know.
You missed Emily's piano recital.
Can I talk to you?
Can I suggest that you spend a little more time with him?
All he wants to do is play video games and go run 5 miles.
What are you doing home?
They let me go.
You really feel like it messed up your childhood not having a dad?
More than you know.
Adam, I need you to come with me right now.
Man, if it wasn't for my family, I'd be in a tailspin right now.
You do heal, but you're never the same.
I want to know what God expects of me.
My life is leading me down the road.
I've been doing about half of what I should have been doing as a dad.
You're being too hard on yourself.
Now I am left.
Revolution?
Yeah, you've been a good enough father.
I don't want to be a good enough father.
Can I say this too?
Trying to find my way.
I don't feel like I started well. I want to finish well.
Give me a revelation.
If you're gonna do this, then do it right. Something like this needs ceremony.
I feel like a rich man. As your father, I want the very best for you. I promise to take care of you.
So where are you, men of courage? I believe every father should step up and answer the call. And to say, I will.